and I'm just gonna go into it. I am Guy. For over a decade I ran Sir Hummus in Amsterdam. This series is where I share how we made the hummus people loved so much, so you can make high-level hummus in your very own kitchen. It's my way of saying thank you after all these years. Exciting times. We are finally gonna make the hummus. There are two schools of thought. You can grind the chickpeas when they're warm, and that's one type of hummus. If you're gonna eat it right away, just for you and a few friends, that's a good option. If you want to store the hummus for a few days, or you want to have deeper flavors, you should cool down your chickpeas. That way, when you mix it, the tahini and the lemon don't get cooked from the heat of the chickpeas. I personally always like to cool down my chickpeas. I like to separate the liquid, the aquafaba, from the chickpeas. I have here the sieve, and I have a bowl under it. I just pour this into here. This is the aquafaba, golden water I call it. So much of the flavor of the hummus is in there, and this is going to help us determine the final texture of the hummus. So it's very important to keep, and when you keep them separately, you can control the consistency much better. It cools down quicker, will grind much better in the food processor without the liquid to begin with. If you notice, I have the garlic I cooked with. That stays inside. I'm going to grind it. It's going to add a nice little flavor to it. Take a few chickpeas aside. These are going to be my topping chickpeas for the hummus as garnish. This is going to cool down for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'm just going to mix it so it cools down a bit faster. The same with the chickpeas. I'm just going to move them around, cool them down. I have a recipe that is in ratios. I weighed out the chickpeas. This is 850 grams of cooked chickpeas. So for the lemon, we have 34 grams. That's 4% of this, 850 grams. Check out the episode about the lemon juice. That's very, very important. Tahini, we have 170 grams. That's 20% of the weight of the chickpeas. I like to have a balance between the flavor of the chickpeas and the flavor of the tahini. Some people like to add a bit more tahini, a bit less. I find that 20% of the weight of the chickpeas gives me a very nice balance. Our liquid gold, the cooking liquid of the chickpeas, this is going to help us determine the texture. You guys are making it at home. I thought to use a home food processor. Just a quick side note about the food processor I'm using. I actually bought it especially for this series, and I have to say I'm not that impressed with it. It's hard to work with. The knives being on two levels, it's hard to like grab, it's hard to clean, it's quite small. If you're thinking about getting one of these machines, specifically if you're making hummus, there are better machines out there. Still, if you know what you're doing, and as you will see in the end of this episode, you can make great hummus with it. If you don't have one of these, you can even use one of these and just blend it inside the bowl. It's easier with this. We are going to start with grinding just the chickpeas. We don't want to grind the tahini and the lemon juice at the same time. The chickpeas we grind for much longer, and that creates friction, and the heat changes the flavor of the tahini and the lemon. So we're going to start just with the chickpeas. 850 grams of chickpeas that have cooled down to room temperature. And I'm going to grind it first for half a minute on low speed, and then for 1 minute on high speed. Just finished the first grinding. This is just the chickpeas. It's looking quite rough at the moment, as you can see. This is totally okay. We just want to get the chickpeas into the right texture. What I'm going to do at this stage is take my aquafaba, give it a bit of a mix, and I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tablespoons, just by judging according to this texture. I want to get it a bit more smooth, and I'm going to grind it again. Let's see how it looks like after that. I'm going to add 2 more tablespoons while spinning. After adding already a bit smoother, getting to where we want to get. At this stage, I'm going to add the lemon juice and the tahini. 34 grams of lemon juice and 170 grams of the tahini. The right texture depends on the temperature of the mass. I will show you how to measure it. First, we'll grind it. This is our first glance at the hummus after adding the tahini and the lemon juice. And this is looking pretty great already. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to feel the hummus and see how it is. It feels nice. Still, if you see, the texture holds quite firm. I like to see how warm the hummus is. I'm just gonna go do it like this in the middle. So it's 29 degrees. A bit more than room temperature. The colder the hummus will get, the thicker it will get. So if this goes into the fridge, it's gonna go to 5 degrees. It's gonna be much harder. It's gonna be like cement. So you can add quite a bit of liquid to this if you're gonna put it in the fridge. If you're gonna eat it now, you wanna add a bit less liquid. I'm gonna taste it as well, and I'm gonna see how it feels in my mouth, if it sticks to my tongue or to my throat, how it goes down my throat, just to get a feeling of how much aquafaba I should add. When I swallow the hummus, I want it to go down really, really smoothly. I do like the hummus more on the thicker side of things. That's where you have to kind of strike a balance and practice. You don't want to add too much aquafaba at once, because very quickly this will turn into a hummus soup. You cannot go back after that. I'm gonna taste this. First of all, the flavor is great. I'm very happy with that. The texture needs a bit more aquafaba. I'm gonna add a few more spoons. By the way, please don't double dip your spoon. You're gonna put your germs into the hummus. And I'm gonna add, let's say, another 6 spoons. Blend it again for 30 seconds, and we see how that impacts the hummus each time. Okay, let's look at the texture again. It's looking a bit smoother. I like it. I want to add 6 more spoons and check it out afterwards. And let's take a look at the texture. Looking super nice and smooth. You can see there is also this shininess on top. That's something we want to see. Oh, and this is just looking perfect. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Let me taste it and tell you what I think. Goes down smoothly in the throat. I'm really happy with this. If you think it's missing salt, it's probably missing salt. Add a pinch of salt, give it another mix and taste it again. And when you taste it, you should feel like, oh, this is perfect. It's not missing any salt. I want to get it out, show you how it looks like on a plate and how to put it in a box as well, so you can keep it for a few days in the fridge. How I do basic plating of this. I have a nice big spoon. You can also do it with a tablespoon. You take a big lump and you put it in the middle of the plate, and then you slowly leave the spoon static and spin the plate, and you do it towards the middle. Grab a few of the garnished chickpeas that we kept. This adds a nice flavor and a nice texture. Extra virgin olive oil. I like to do it on the rim and a bit in the middle. This is sumac. It's great, adds a bit of brightness and acidity. And I have some finely chopped parsley. You don't need a lot for the color. This is how I make my hummus, guys. Now that the hummus is ready, I cannot really help myself. Good hummus you should eat with a spoon or with a fork. And I'm just gonna go into it. I have goosebumps, which tells me this is exactly what it needs to be.
A bonus for you for watching this far. Our secret sauce, the hummus booster. The link is right here.
Still have a bunch left over, and I'm gonna keep this for a few days in the fridge, and we're just gonna bring it to my family. And we put enough aquafaba in it so the texture, even though it's gonna get harder, is gonna be nice and airy. Take some extra virgin olive oil and put a bit of that on the bottom. It's gonna help to keep the flavors better. And I take the hummus with a spatula. A silicone spatula is so important. A bit straight. Texture is just beautiful. As you can see, there is olive oil on the sides and on the bottom. I'm going to add a bit of olive oil also on top. That's going to seal the hummus all around. And this is going to keep for 3 or 4 days in the fridge for you to enjoy it.
Now that you have the whole picture and you can kind of go on your own and make your own hummus, I'm really curious to find out how it turned out. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments below.